our Malcolm Mackay views everywhere.
And you've brought in a lot of posters that show the public what the city's plans would look like and what light rail running on our streets would look like. And can we go to the first posters showing us Chinatown?
Yeah, we've got a pair of simulations. The first one you'll see is an elevated rail system. This is a simulation of what is proposed right now. So now you're looking at the corner of Nimitz Highway and Kekalike Street. Now, if you drop down, you'll see a light rail version, and it's not in the exact same area. This is just one option, is to put light rail on Hotel Street, since Hotel Street is a transit corridor now.
Running through Chinatown.
It basically becomes like a long bus.
And it apparently is the same size of the bus?
Yeah, the width of these train bodies is no more than a city bus. So they can take up one lane just like a bus.
Right, and then the next one is downtown.
Now this is, again, the heart of the AIA's concern over elevated rail is this image that you see now, is that this is the elevated rail and how it will act as a physical and as a visual barrier between our downtown and our waterfront. And as you can see, there's a station there. It's really pretty much at the corner of Alakea and Nimitz, and it has to have sidewalk, or it has to have walkways and stairways and elevators going to both sides of Nimitz Highway. So it is a huge construction, and of course you've got a historic Dillingham Transportation Building right next to it. So the impact is really enormous.
Oh, well, there'll be many people coming through.
Yeah, and so if you pan down now and we look at another option for getting our people into downtown, we could easily put light rail on King Street. It could be King, could be Hotel, it could be Beretania.
And this is near the King Kamehameha statue?
There you see King Kamehameha on the left there. You see at the curb lane, you see a wireless light rail train coming along toward you. And this is an example of just how invisible these trains are. Once they pass by, there's just nothing there except the tracks in the street.
And we were saying in our prep meeting that it's not electrified until the train is over it?
That's correct.
So it's very safe.
There's various ways of doing it. Some actually use magnetic radio waves underneath the train, so you don't even see a power rail. Some companies use a power rail that's energized only when the train is right over it.
And so it's very safe for pedestrians to cross over.
You can walk right across that. Once the train is gone, it's no different than a city street.
And then the next posters we have here that you've brought in are of Waipahu.
Yeah, now Waipahu, this is one of our most recent simulations. Again, this is the Waipahu Transit Center stop at Farrington Highway and Mokuola Street. That's a very wide street, and it has a frontage road on the left, so as you can see there's a very large walkway that has to cross over Farrington and Mokuola. You can see, compared to what's there now, that area is very open, and suddenly right down the center of Waipahu you have this enormous concrete construction. Not only is it very expensive, but it's obviously very disruptive to all the views and the openness. So if you pan down, we can look at a light rail option in the exact same location. No change in the route now. We are proposing a light rail system that would run in the median of the street. There's about a 35-foot median there now, and that's big enough to put two pairs of train tracks. And as you can see, a station, for light rail, a station is really nothing more than a bus stop.
Right.
It can have little roofs for rain and sun, but basically it's no more than just a long bus stop. And then so imagine the difference in cost with those two.
Yes, and actually we have another poster here of a light rail running through a city in Barcelona.
Yeah, this is Again, the grass tracks idea.
Right, the grass tracks I
This
like.
is something that really appeals to us in terms of running light rail in the suburban areas such
Right.
as Waipahu and the Ewa
So
Plain.
you could have grass tracks in Waipahu.
You don't have the intense urban environment that you have in central Honolulu, and so you could really do much more pleasant options such as bikeways and trees, shade trees, and even a grass track. So that is a wonderful image. And actually, Barcelona is a city of about 4 million people.
Oh, wow.
So they still chose to do it in their city, despite its size.
And then the last set of posters you hear are of how the city's proposed rail would look at UH.
Yeah, we want to stress now this is phase 2 of the project. The city has not even talked about when this would be built or how it would be paid for.
And this is near Puck's Alley, it looks
But
like?
this is the portion of the system that's supposed to go up to UH Manoa.
Yeah, University and King.
And it is particularly imposing because it has to go over the H1 freeway, which is just out of this picture. But it causes the guideway to be approximately 60 feet in the air. So you can see that's an enormous engineering challenge, and it creates this hulking structure, which you can see. Now, if we pan down for the very same location, this is just an example of a light rail. And this one, just because it's an older shot, we were looking at overhead wire light rails. So you can see very faintly there are some power wires in the air, because that's a typical light rail system such as you would find in Phoenix today. But you can see what a difference it is for the views. Look at the views up into Manoa. You can see all the mountains again. You can see the sky. I mean, these are the things that we prize about Hawaii, and they would just be so much more open with a light rail system.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad you have these visuals, the videos, and the posters, because then people can actually see exactly what we're talking about. If it's just words, it's not quite as real for us, and I really appreciate your coming in. In the last couple of minutes, do you have anything, minute and a half, do you have anything that you would like to convey to the viewers that we haven't touched on, maybe?
Well, I want to stress that AIA Honolulu has always favored a rail system. We have always supported that. There are elements in the community that have actually argued, we shouldn't have rail. We should have more cars, more roads. And we think that fundamentally a rail transit system is an asset to a city. It's a way to include all of the members of a society, because we tend to forget that the young, the elderly, the handicapped, there are many people that choose not to drive. And by limiting ourselves only to cars, and of course we have a very good bus system, but we are still excluding a lot of people who could really benefit.
Actually, to tell you the truth, a friend of mine who just was here is from Oslo, and their city is approximately the same size as ours, and he has the option of a car, a bus, or rail. And this is we've got horrendous traffic here. Rail is definitely something that we need. And thank you so much for telling us about this system.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate.
It's not too late. It's not too late to change.
Yes, that's the important thing for people to know. It's not too late, that we can still change. The guideway, the route,
the technology.
The technology is there.
That's the first thing that has to be changed, is the technology. The route, and those are details. We have plenty of time to change those as we start the process.
So anyway, thank you so much for coming in. I
My
really
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.